In Jesus' teaching of the Sermon on the Mount, he debunked the teachings of revenge, of getting even with others, of something that had probably stemmed from some Old Testament passages. Good morning. I'm Pastor Ernie Lewis of the Blue Point Church in Sisney, Illinois, with your thoughts for Monday. As Jesus often spoke in his Sermon on the Mount, he says in Matthew 5:38, "You have heard that it has been said." Unfortunately, some of these teachings of the Old Testament became traditions, and then the traditions went even further in men's minds. But the idea here of an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth actually came from Exodus chapter 22, which goes on to say, "and a life for a life." It was teaching capital punishment for the crime of murder. Many Old Testament laws were to punish those who had taken things from other people. But Jesus goes on in this passage to say in verse 39, "But I tell you not to resist an evil person, but whoever slaps you on your right cheek, turn the other to him also. If anyone wants to sue you and take away your tunic, let him have your cloak also. And whoever compels you to go 1 mile, go with him 2. Give to him who asks of you, and from him who wants to borrow from you, do not turn away." I believe the basic teaching in this passage was to get away from taking revenge. You know, Paul wrote in Romans chapter 12, verse 19, "For it is written, vengeance is mine, I will repay, saith the Lord." So if your enemy is hungry, he said, feed him. If he's thirsty, give him a drink. It'll heap coals of fire upon his head. Now, we will all be confronted by some evil person in our society today. The key is not to become like them, but to overcome evil with good. That's why Jesus said, "Whoever slaps you on your right cheek, turn the other to him also." This was not some sort of fatalistic approach, but it was merely the act of overcoming evil with good, or not bringing vengeance on this evil person. The same picture, of course, goes along with mentioning the idea that someone would sue you to take away your coat, your tunic. This may even be an Old Testament reference to paying a debt by taking away your clothing. But he said, if they need that, go ahead, give them your outer cloak also, that more costly garment. Be known for your generosity here. It would seem that Jesus is teaching his followers to be kind and generous rather than to be grumpy and greedy. The whole idea is our attitude. If someone compels you to go 1 mile with them, that was probably a practice by the Roman soldiers of that day. They may even compel someone to carry their luggage or part of their gear for 1 mile. He said, don't argue with him. Go a 2nd mile. Go out of your way to be kind and generous to others. And give to him that asks of you. Apparently, this is an unreasonable request. But if someone asks of us to borrow something, don't deny them that kindness. Show mercy and love. There will always be those who are unreasonable and making unreasonable requests of us. They play upon our kindness and our generosity. Jesus says to give willingly. And it seems that Jesus is teaching us here not to raise quarrels over unreasonable demands, but rather to show kindness and generosity as a witness of the love of the Lord Jesus Christ.